bit of spare capacity to deal with all the water that comes through. All right. So what happens is calcium hydroxide is delivered to that tank. It then goes into the underground tank where it's mixed with water, and then it's introduced into the top tank of either of the two systems. We usually keep that one shut down as an emergency backup if this breaks down. So we're generally using this system here. So the calcium hydroxide solution plus the polluted water goes into the top tank. These electric motors are like big bar mixers, impellers, with propellers down the bottom that keep everything stirred up. We also bring in oxygen to aerate the system and increase the efficiency of the reaction of neutralizing the acid. And what happens is the water spills into the second reactor and then the third, and by the time it gets to here it's pretty close to neutral, right? Not quite. And eventually it overflows and goes into the settling tank here. The big settling tank has a gutter around the edge at the top on the inside, and what happens there is the precipitate, which is the calcium sulfate or gypsum, which looks a bit like clay mud, settles to the bottom, and when the pH level reaches 9.5, it can be released to go out to the settling ponds for the precipitate to dry out and become dirt, which can then be scooped up and taken back into the mine for storage, right? But the pH needs to get to about 9.5 before that can happen. Otherwise, they keep recycling the water that's in the settling tank back into the system along with the dirty water until the pH here is 9.5. So it is slightly alkaline. So that when that water is actually released to go back into the system, which is the diversion water, right, which is the clean water that comes in at the northern end of the mine, is slightly alkaline, so that if any acidic water is escaping out of the mine, that will neutralize it. Okay? Alright. The monitoring equipment for the pH is in this box with a red lid. Is anything displayed at the moment? No. Sorry? No. Okay. When the system is operational, then that comes online and gives a continual readout. 9.2. So it's not sufficient at the moment. So there's not actually anything happening here. So it's really of no great significance. That's why it's just sitting outside. If you want to walk up onto the gangway there, take any photos, you're welcome to do that, and then make your way down to the bottom and reassemble at just outside the gate. Okay? Any questions? You can ask as you go through.